No fat. Give me a penny back and I'm up out of here. And you got a line? Yep. Okay, guess what? Give me one and take what you like. Take the item back. This is white. Okay. Give me that one. 124. Give me that one. 220, 212. Okay. That's easier. You about to get it. Hold on. You about to get it. But she ain't gonna hold me. Not again. Not again when I'm a good person. I go to church every Sunday. Not every Sunday. But my grandma got me in church when I was what? 2 months? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I ain't crazy. I just love the Joker. Y'all know the Joker, don't y'all? Over Batman. He act a little stupid. Here we go, up. I want to get out your soul because you got the line. And I ain't no rule. But I know what I know. Hey, guess what? That's all she wanted was Minnie Mouse when you jump right. Huh. Guess what? You need more than me. But I just hit the lottery for 30 G's. B.I. I ain't gonna call you a because I respect you. B.I. Good day, people. Guess what? Guess what? I own my mother charger too. Okay, this stuff in the basket. Come on. I paid for it. You don't touch my, I paid for it. I paid for it. This balloon, I paid for it. So you gonna steal from me? You gonna steal from me? I don't need your buggy. I ain't take your buggy. I don't need it. Your buggy is your store. Your store. You work for this store. This ain't your stuff. You work for them just like my mama worked at Foot Locker for 10 years. Did that for 10 years, and then that hurts for 15 years. And guess what she did? They got her fired. They fired her. So guess who take care of her? Guess what she had done? At my house, her door. You move up. You work here. You don't own this. A white man do all white. So fuck you. You're fine with that. Look at that. And I do hair too. I do hair too. No. Look at this. Look at this. Bald on the side. Get this. I do hair too. And I'll hook you up. And you ain't never gotta wear that wig no more. Never. Yvonne. That's my auntie named Yvonne. And I respect you. That's why I call you a bitch. Because they say, they wonder why you call you a bitch. But I called you Yvonne. And I called you B.I. Because guess what I love? My flies. All of them and I wear them. That's my car going on. I own it. Do you own your car? No, you don't. No, you don't. Guess what? Oh, why bought me that car? I ain't bad at you, right? So I'll come back and bad on you too. Like I came back for that Mini, because that's what I do. Yeah. And I bet that wig stank too, because you've been wearing it for years. I done been to Texas and back, and that's that same wig.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing, entertaining, delightful, great disciple content.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Hold up. Hey.
Money and the cost of personal property. Kimberly is countersuing for the cost of her jewelry. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
You, sir, are suing the defendant because she kept you from going into the property.
Correct.
You were wanting the civilly allowed
She changed the law.
statutory damages here.
Correct.
Okay, and you, ma'am, are counterclaiming for a like amount, saying that he stole some property from you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, now what kind of relationship did you two have?
We had, well, I thought it was a very good relationship, 7.5 years, and it just ended. And
Were you married?
no, we were not.
Okay, now where were you living?
We were living at her grandmother's house.
All right, were you paying rent?
Yes, we were.
Okay, now what happens?
Just the things that went on in the past in the relationship, the cheating and everything like that, I decided this is too much.
You're accusing her of infidelity.
Yes. So I decided to go ahead and move out. Started to move out. As my brother and I were moving boxes out of the house, her 15-year-old friend went into my truck and grabbed the garage door opener off the vehicle.
Her 15-year-old friend?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm not even going to go into that. But she went into my truck and stole the garage door opener off my visor of my pickup, which infuriated me. I was like, I was just like, what gave this person the right? Went ahead, and from that point on, I totally admit I lost my cool. Started doing childish things, name calling and everything like that. Never got violent or anything like that, just name calling. came back into the house. My brother said she just took your house key, or started to take your house keys off your keychain. My keys were sitting on the kitchen table in the house.
Well, did you retain the keys, yes or no?
Once the police got there, they made her give me the keys.
Police came?
Yes.
After being called every name in the book, every derogatory name a woman can be called for 6 hours, it took him 6 hours to move 2 truckloads out of the house.
Well, did he hit you?
He did not hit me, but
Okay.
that morning I noticed my jewelry was missing. He admitted he took it, that he couldn't get it back.
Take her jewelry?
Yes, I took back a set of diamond earrings.
Oh,
that
you
I
gave them to her?
Yes.
Okay.
And a little cocktail ring, diamond cocktail ring.
Okay, so is that what you're talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
The police said if I, that I can't make him leave, that I had to give the keys back. I gave him back. He agreed he would not come back until the next day. That morning I woke up, I found my jewelry gone. I didn't trust him to be in the house moving without me there.
Well, those were gifts. He just rescinded
I had
the
got
gifts.
a birthday gift 7 years ago for my birthday. That was the ring. For Christmas, I was given diamond earrings. I don't think they're his to take back. I didn't take back the coat I
Well,
gave
he was
him.
exercising a claim of right to them, but in any event, what happens?
The police said they would come and they would sit and watch him take his stuff out the next day.
Correct.
The next day, he sat in front of the house for 5 hours.
I called for a civil standby.
The cops,
and they never showed up.
came.
Then
They never
nobody
came.
came. All right.
I
Nobody
offered,
showed up.
though, 3 to 4 times for him or his family members to come in and get us stuff. Please just
But
come get your stuff out.
He waited until he was trying to wait for the police
Right,
to
but the
arrive.
police
Accusing
told
me
me
of
on the
stealing
phone.
everything under the sun.
Cops told me if I
At
put
that
his
point in
property
time-
into the garage, that I could change the locks to the house and leave him access
Now,
to
how are
his
they
stuff in
going
the
to do
garage.
that? See, it's a civil matter. The police cannot give you legal advice.
But they
A,
did.
and B, they act at their own peril if they attempt to intervene in a civil matter. So,
It was her friend, a
Okay.
personal friend. There was the police officer on
He's
site.
Okay.
not the one that told me. The other 2 cops
well,
that
okay,
came
well,
after
you
me left.
rely at your peril on anybody giving you legal advice unless that person is licensed to practice law.
Your Honor?
Now, let's get back to this. When did you ultimately get back in there?
The following weekend,
And you say how many days was that?
5 days, or well,
It was Friday the
6
14th.
days.
It was 5 days because he was there all day Sunday. He could have moved his stuff out Sunday.
6
He
days,
refused
the
to take
14th.
it. He came back April 14th and took 1 load, came back April 15th and finished taking the rest of
Okay,
his stuff
how
out.
long were the locks changed before you completely moved?
I don't know.
Add the days up. When did you move out
6
of there?
days.
6 days. Now, how did you get in there to move your belongings out?
She had told me that her mother, Miss Gray over there, was coming down from Nevada, and I felt confident with her mother being there that I could go there, remove these items without being accused of, like I said,
Some
stealing
impropriety.
everything under the sun. And, like I
So
said,
you moved out. So you
Correct.
say you were locked out for 6 days.
correct, Your Honor.
All right, now, just what brought all of this to this kind of point? What happened to break you two up?
I just realized that I didn't love him anymore. I had stopped loving him for a couple years, tried to make it work. The weekend before, I had stayed out late. He got mad, called me and
She
a
had
liar.
a 15-year-old girl out till
because
4:30 in the morning.
We stayed
15-year-old
out.
girl.
Her 15-year-old
It's just a friend of mine. I didn't want to
What
be
are you doing with a 15-year-old girl out to that time of the
She was
morning?
just a friend, and it was daylight savings time, so it really wasn't that
3:30
late.
in the morning.
We went to the
What are
pool
you doing
hall.
out to 3:30 in the morning with a 15-year-old?
We went to the pool hall. We played pool with her friend. We
What
hung
is your
out there.
relationship to this 15-year-old?
We're just friends. I'm like a mentor and a big sister to her.
A
She doesn't
mentor
have
and a
an
big
older
sister
sister.
till 3:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
We were
We're
at her sister, her friend's house.
What is your version of this relationship?
Everything so far is pretty much right on. When they came home at 4:30 in the morning, I was like, I looked at the clock. I'm like, what are you thinking? You got a 15-year-old girl out. Be the adult. You're 32 years old.
When we got home, he called us liars. I finally decided at that point I did not want to be in the relationship anymore with him.
Well, why do you feel that this is something improper here between her and this 15-year-old? I want to hear your
Because
reason.
from her statement, when I said, what were you guys doing? And she said, we were playing pool. And I said, pool halls don't stay open till 4:30 in the morning, especially with a 15-year-old child, a person that's underage.
Minors generally have a curfew. Minors generally are expected to be in, especially 15-year-olds, at a reasonable time, which is not 4:30 in the morning.
Right, her friend's parents are close family friends with her
I don't
family.
care, her
They
friends.
offered us to
I
stay the
don't
night.
care. You got a 15-year-old and a 32-year-old coming in as not big sister, mentor, or whatever, but as friends with a 15-year-old.
And
And
when
say,
I
okay,
asked-
well, anyway, you two broke up. Now, you say he took back some gifts he had given you.
Right, a ring that he gave me for my birthday
Well,
7 years ago.
That's not theft. He went and retrieved the gift. Now, why do you say that you should be compensated for $900 relative to these items?
Because the earrings were $725 retail value. He paid $600 for them. The ring cost him $300. I don't have them anymore. I think I should either get the jewelry back or the cost to replace them.
And Your Honor.
And what did you do? You threw him out.
Will be.
The statutory penalty that we're talking about that you're trying to get right here under California Civil Code, restriction of access of tenant to property. The landlord shall not prevent the tenant from gaining reasonable access to the property by changing the locks.
I'm not the landlord.
And, well, you were acting as a landlord. You had a lease with your grandmother, I take it, and you were acting in that capacity when you changed the locks on the premises and you decided that you were going to get rid of him because he was properly concerned, ma'am, about your behavior and conduct relative to a 15-year-old. So in any event, you restricted his access. The court finds that 6 days has been established. Now, relative to your cross complaint, the court will dismiss your claim, your countersuit, and it will find for the plaintiff, who is carried by the preponderance of the evidence, the necessary burden of proof. Judgment accordingly, $600 for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Court is in recess. Sir, you may step out the door and to your right.
What did you tell him about changing the locks beforehand?
I told him I'm changing the locks. You've stolen from me. I don't think it's fair that he stole my jewelry. I don't get compensated for it. I don't have the jewelry.
Well, at the time, there's a lot of hurt going on. It's a 7.5-year relationship. Was it right? Probably not.
Will you give them back to her?
Probably yes.
His father, Raylan Smith, in the amount of $2,432. Mr. Smith claims he's not responsible for what happened to his son.
Mr. Bentley, you are suing your dad, Mr. Smith, for fraud. The reason that we're here, though, is because of something that you are alleging your dad did.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So, Your Honor, I came home from work, I got an envelope, and it said it was child support papers. And I'm sitting here confused because child support for what? And my girlfriend found it, and she was like, what is this? What's going on? And so
The two of you live together?
Yes, we do live together.
Okay.
Yes. I have a good job, sir. I have been gone
You don't
through
have
college.
any children?
No, I have no
That you
children.
know of?
That he knows of exactly.
I've only been in one faithful relationship, unlike him.
All right.
So
when you then get this paperwork saying child support papers, and these papers are not, what's your girlfriend's name?
My girlfriend's name is Sarah.
These child support papers are not from Sarah.
They're not from Sarah.
All right. She says, what is this?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Well, I find that it's a lady named Linda, and she says that I followed her child, and this was in Texas. I hadn't even been, because I travel too for work, Your Honor. I'm a computer engineer.
Okay.
So I travel throughout the country. like
Linda
him.
is saying that you fathered her child.
Yes, sir.
Sarah is reading this.
Yes, so
And
she goes
going-
ballistic. She goes crazy. She's like, what is this? I thought we were on the right track. I can't trust you, and then she storms out.
Okay.
So in my defense, I'm like, well, I need to call this Linda lady and set her straight. Be like, look, this isn't true.
Okay.
So I call her up.
Yes.
And I have a conversation. I say, I'm going to get a paternity test.
You contact Linda and you're like, I'm not this person.
Yes.
And then what happens?
So I took the test. It came back negative. I have the proof right
Show
here.
me. I'll take a look at that.
I gave her the proof. She called.
You gave Linda the proof?
Yeah. Well, she saw the proof and apologized immediately because then she found out that it wasn't me.
This person, Linda, you had relations with her?
I did. I did.
Did
yes.
you tell her your name was Raylan Allen Smith?
Raylan Allen Smith, yes, sir.
And that's not his name, Your Honor.
What's inconvenient about saying I'm Raylan Curtis Smith or I'm Raylan? I'm sorry. Who is this?
Oh, this is Linda right here. This is my.
Linda, come on up. All right. Ma'am, what's your last name?
Connors.
Ms. Connors. Why are you contacting this gentleman?
Because I finally made a decision. I want to get some answers.
Got it.
Well, you playing tag team on me, huh?
Sir, sit down.
He's a liar.
Have a seat. Have several. And you contacted him, And he told you, I am not the person that you're looking for.
We established it pretty quickly. And I knew because he's a sweetheart, he's not a liar like him,
Okay.
that how could he even be related to
I don't
him?
need you to talk to him. I need you to
Okay,
focus on me.
okay.
You ultimately are now saying that he should be responsible for Ryan after these 8 years.
Correct.
Sir, come on back up. You're not disputing that you told Ms. Connor your name was Raylan Allen.
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
All right. But the issue that you're having with your dad is he should have to pay you
Right.
for the paternity test.
That he should have received, not me.
Okay. Because you're saying now that he's the father and it's time to pay up.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to reach out to him. And
No, I get it.
I can't make it a
And
full-time
you
job.
said, fine, I'll take a DNA test.
Exactly.
Here are the results. And if it turns out that you are the father of Ryan, you gonna be in and out his life too?
Yep.
I think I'll man up, Your Honor.
Here are the results. With a 99.9998% probability, the father of Ryan Connor is not Raylan Curtis Smith.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel will come down in favor of the defendant in this case. You cannot meet your burden because that is not something that could be foreseeable given what we just discussed here. Your matter's dismissed. I don't know who Ryan's father is. And you got work to do.
Sure.
Case closed.
All rise.
Judge.